Hey, what's going on, guys? Now, one of the biggest things people are going to notice right away is the bow weapon becoming available to everyone in the base game. If you do not own the Claws of Awaji expansion, that does not lock you out anymore. Once you have earned at least one unique bow, the non-legendary versions can start dropping from enemies, show up in chests, or even appear at merchants just like other weapons. That is a pretty big move because it means more players can mess around with the weapon type without needing the expansion first. And it also makes exploration feel a little more rewarding since you're not stuck waiting for one specific content package to try it out. There is also some technical polish coming in for PlayStation 5 Pro owners because the update adds PSSR2 support. In plain English, that should mean a cleaner and sharper visual presentation while you move through the world as Naue or Yasuke, especially when you're looking at big landscapes, busy city streets, or quieter countryside areas. Ubisoft is also bringing mouse and keyboard support to Nintendo Switch 2, which is a really interesting addition because it gives players another way to control the game with more precision if that is the setup they prefer. Between those two changes, this patch is not just fixing problems. It is also making the game feel more flexible across platforms. A big chunk of the update is dedicated to bug fixes, and there are a lot of the kind that actually affect how the game feels moment to moment. Ubisoft says it fixed an issue where fast travel points could become unavailable, which is the kind of thing that can turn a normal play session into a frustrating one real fast. Enemies can now suffer up to 5 afflictions at the same time. Extra rations from Claws of Awaji are now properly visible under the maximum ration stat sheet. Damage increases now apply correctly while unarmed, and various stat sources no longer get capped at plus 100% in the wrong way. Those fixes might sound technical, but for players who care about builds, combat flow, and the numbers behind their gear, they matter a lot. The UI side gets a good cleanup too. Ubisoft fixed a crash that could happen when checking add-on content, resolved the issue where total progression could stay stuck at 97.89% even after everything was completed, and adjusted the detailed stat sheet so it now shows combo ender damage properly and makes capped versus uncapped stats easier to read. There was also a nasty issue where updating the game could trigger a missing content error and cause players to lose gear earned from the expansion, and that has now been addressed as well. These are the kinds of fixes that do not always sound flashy in a trailer, but they are the ones that can save players from a lot of headache. On the weapons and perks side, the patch goes even deeper. Yasuke's Samurai passive ability Defensive Break level 3 now correctly shows the damage value it is supposed to. The Critical Insight Heightened Senses upgrade works again, the Hidden Onslaught Hidden Hand upgrade has been repaired, and the Extended Duration Tenjutsu Burst upgrade from Claws of Awaji is functional again. Ubisoft also fixed Defensive Breach so it shows the right collision damage bonus at rank 3, clarified that the Oni's Rage Kanabo perk spreads 25% bleed buildup on kill, and addressed several trinket and helmet perks that were not behaving properly, including the Underworld Emissary Horns bonus damage and the Claws of the Tides Long Katana perk. There is also a fix for Affliction conversion perks, which is a pretty important one because that kind of build can completely change how some players approach combat. There's even a small localization tweak in there, with the Hurricane Stance Naginata ability now spelling out how much ability damage it deals. And near the end of the patch notes, Ubisoft calls out a few mission-specific fixes too. Brothers in Arms now lets players loot corpses to progress properly, Lost and Found no longer gets stuck after defeating the Sentinel boss while staying in the arena, and the Winter Raiders can now be completed after taking down all the raiders. So, overall, this update is doing a lot more than just adding one shiny feature. It is opening up a weapon for more players, improving the look and feel on supported hardware, adding a new control option on Switch 2, and cleaning up a long list of gameplay, UI perk, and quest issues that were getting in the way of the experience.